We are 54 days from the presidential election, and Obama was back on the campaign trail, making another stop to talk about this hot mess in the Middle East.
And our task as the most powerful nation on earth is to defend and protect and advance our people, but also to defend and protect and advance those values at home and around the world.
Meanwhile, Mitt Romney has become the bad guy. Look what happened during a campaign event in Virginia when he tried to honor the Americans who died in Libya.
But I also recognize that right now we're in mourning. We've lost 4 of our diplomats across the world. We're thinking about their families and those that they've left behind. What a tragedy.
Why are you politicizing
to lose
Libya?
Such a wonderful.
Why are you politicizing Libya?
There are even some Republicans who think Romney was wrong for saying we shouldn't apologize for our freedom of speech. The rub here is that Romney was responding to the apology put out by the embassy in Cairo over some stupid YouTube video that some Muslims found offensive. Romney's statement gave the impression that the embassy was apologizing after the attack, when in fact the embassy released the statement before the violence had occurred. By the way, have you seen this piece of crap? It's a 14-minute amateur movie that rivals the quality of a local used car dealer spot. Then we have former John McCain advisor Steve Schmidt, who couldn't get John McCain elected. He came out and said, and I quote, "The Romney campaign put out a statement before the facts were in that politicized the matter and gratuitously attacked the administration for something they did not do. The decision to double down on the initial mistake has put them into a potentially dangerous political situation." Okay, fine. So maybe Romney got ahead of himself. But his first reaction was to state for the record that Americans should never, ever apologize for this freedom of speech and our Constitution. You know, maybe after 4 years of having a president who's done nothing but apologize for the U.S., this might seem like a novelty. What hasn't changed, though, is the fact that President Obama still spent the majority of his time on religious tolerance.
Since our founding, the United States has been a nation that respects all faiths. We reject all efforts to denigrate the religious beliefs of others. But there is absolutely no justification to this type of senseless violence.
The first thing he should have done as commander-in-chief is condemn the attackers. You know, going on the line of Romney's critics, Obama did have all the info, and he still spent his time worrying about feelings. Again, all of this over a YouTube video. This is not the first time the president couldn't bring himself to come right out and condemn an attack. Do you remember the Fort Hood shooting?
Let me, first of all, just thank Ken and the entire Department of the Interior staff for organizing just an extraordinary conference. I want to thank my cabinet members and senior administration officials who participated today. I hear that Dr. Joe Medicine Crow was around, and so I want to give a shout out to that Congressional Medal of Honor winner. Good to see you.
That went on for 1 minute and 45 seconds before he even mentioned the dead troops. Maybe if the guy who's running for re-election had the spine to use the kind of language he reserves for oil companies and the 1% when dealing with Islamic terrorism, we might believe he takes this stuff seriously. It's hard to believe that a guy who attends a lousy 43% of his daily security briefings is on top of this stuff.